ultra hard. Oh my God. Oh, oh yeah, yeah. Oh, oh, oh my gosh, guys. Sorry about that. Welcome to Jacquie Roar Week here on the Boston Chris podcast. We are so stoked you decided to tune into another episode of the show, where this week we talk to Portland, Oregon's own Jacquie Roar. That's right, Jacquie finished 4th on The Voice recently, and we're so stoked to chat with her about her music and everything that makes her tick. But before we go any further, I got some homework for y'all. Please hit that like button down there if you're liking the episode. That really helps us out to do more. Of course, if you want to see more in-depth, candid interviews and conversations like this one, you can hit subscribe or follow and ring the little bell to be notified when we have more content. Also, I need you guys to comment down below your favorite part of this episode. And let me tell you a little bit more about Miss Jacquie Roar, from gracing the stage at the Oregon Jamboree to sharing it with music legends like Reba McEntire, Alan Jackson, Martina McBride, Kelsey Ballerini, Dan and Shay, and more. Jacquie has tirelessly carved her name into the music industry. Her journey finally ignited when she received the call to participate in season 24 of America's reality singing competition, The Voice. Making her national debut, Jacquie delivered a stunning rendition of Here for the Party by Gretchen Wilson, capturing the attention of all 4 coaches with a 4-chair turn. Jacquie's journey through the competition was marked by her determination, ultimately landing her a commendable 4th-place finish in the finale. Jacquie Roar isn't just a powerhouse vocalist. She's also a gifted songwriter. This dynamic artist will set the stage ablaze with her high-energy performances and send shivers down your spine with her emotionally charged ballads. We are so excited to get into it with Miss Jacquie Roar right now, right here, in the most in-depth, candid interview you will ever see from Miss Jacquie Roar. Let's get into it right now!
It's time to jam. It's time to mingle. It's time to see what everyone's drinking. It's time to jam. It's time to mingle. It's time to see what everyone's drinking. Until we all lose connection.
This is Chase Glover. Thanks for tuning in to the Boston Chris Show.
Hey guys, it is Jacquie Roar week here on the Boston Chris podcast, and super stoked to have an artist from the Pacific Northwest here on the show for the first time. I was really excited about having you on because I'm a fan of yours from The Voice, obviously, but I wanted to hear more about Oregon and kind of the music scene from up there. But before we get started, let me ask you an icebreaker question. What are your favorite drinks right now, Jacquie?
Well, I have been 8 months alcohol free, so I've been
Congrats.
trying to figure out, different things that I like.
Yeah.
Right now, regretfully, I'd have to say a can of Coca-Cola is where it's at right now. So,
Yeah. Don't feel bad. I got my Mountain Dew right here. At least I go zero sugar these days, but like I find that a lot of stores either don't carry the zero sugar or they're so popular that they're out really quickly. Like they really move fast.
I just figure if I'm already cutting out alcohol, sugar's not going to be
Yeah,
a big deal.
you have to give yourself a reward somewhere, right?
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
usually like a can of Coke a week.
Yeah, I understand. Well, congratulations on the sobriety. That's really hard to do, so congrats on
Thanks.
that. Yeah. So I did mention the Pacific Northwest, but you, correct me if I'm wrong, you were born in Chicago, right?
That's correct. I was born in Chicago, Illinois, and then my mom moved us to California when I was just 3 months old.
Wow.
I do have a pretty large family in Chicago, and I have family in California as well, and I have family in Poland and Germany and Vegas. So yeah, I have family everywhere.
Sweet. But you did end up at a very young age in Portland, Oregon. So that's pretty much all you've known, right?
Yeah, I would say, I consider myself to be a native because I mean, I literally have not left here since I was 8 years old.
Right.
So, I'm not going to tell you how old I am now, but it's been about 30 years.
And so, how is music finding you in Portland as a young kid?
Even to this day, I feel as if I'm not necessarily accepted by other people that are musicians in Oregon. I think the country lane is really tough in Oregon, especially Portland. But like the outskirts seem to like it, and there are some significant relationships that I've created and bonded with other people that are in the country music realm with me here in Oregon because it's such a small market for us here in Oregon. And even though the funny thing is like I literally live not even a half mile from farmland. It's all
Yeah.
farmland, so it's when you talk about the music scene here in Oregon, it's more like alternative. And that's the music scene. So like and really cool eclectic stuff here because Portland is that's what they're known for really is just being weird, right? So
And so, when is music getting kind of more serious for you? Because like when we're kids, we all listen to music, but at some point in time, you decide, this is more. I have more passion for this, and maybe want to see how this is going to work out. Is that happening to you at a young age, or is that really more when you become an adult?
I think I've always loved singing. It was kind of my getaway, like my therapy.
Sure.
But I went through a lot of I went through a lot of childhood trauma that I think prevented me from really accepting my worth and my talent because I felt a lot of shame. And now that I'm older, now that I've had my own child and I'm supposed to be a role model, I think everything really changed in those moments where I was like, I found my strength in knowing that I had to be an inspiration to her so that she knows she can do whatever she wants and nothing should ever hold her back. And um, it's kind of just funny with that's how I have always been as I've always fought for others instead of fighting for myself. So having her in my life just really flourished my music career.
And so that's a lesson you're learning indirectly from your daughter, fighting for yourself. Are you doing that more now as a teaching tool for her?
Yeah, and trust me, there are times where it's extremely hard too because
Yeah.
she doesn't want me to go. She's like, "Mom, how long are you going to be gone for this time? Like when are you coming back?" And then she gets kind of upset that if I'm gone for longer than 2 days, it's kind of heartbreaking to see her go through that. So I just have to remind her, I'm like, hey, if you like what we do with the money that I earn, I got to go get the money,
Yeah.
So, it's a tough lesson. I wish that, most of the time I'm here anyways, Monday through, Thursday, I'm here with her. So it's not like I'm gone 24/7 and she never sees me. I'm here pretty much every single
Yeah.
week, Monday through, unless I'm, recording or something and I need to spend a week or two in Nashville. So, um, I haven't gone on a long tour yet. I haven't done anything like that. And even if I did, on my off days, I wouldn't stay out. I would fly back so I can be with my family.
Yeah, it is a catch-22, and it's a tough business if you want to be successful in it and actually make a living at it. Something's going to suffer. There's sacrifices that have to be made. That's part of the dream, unfortunately, right?
Yeah. Uh, again, it's a catch 22 because I love being on stage. I love being validated and supported by my fans and my friends and my family. Um, but I do miss my family when I'm on the road. So it's like if I'm home, I miss being on the road, and if I'm on the road, I
Yep.
miss being home. It's my two
Yeah.
loves,
I hear
you
it all
know.
the time. Yeah, it's wherever you are, you miss the other one. Yeah, it's tough. You fed me right into into my outline with the role of your daughter has been paramount in you pursuing this. Um, it's kind of like having that responsibility to kind of know that you have to teach lessons and perhaps the lessons that you weren't taught yourself, right? That you want to hand down to your child. Is that basically what happened?
Yeah, I mean, I think my mother had a lot to do with my work ethic. She was always really hard on me, and being the female, I was the big sister, so it was like a lot of the responsibility was for me to take care of my brother, and when she was at work, and um, I guess being a woman, she didn't want me to have to depend on a man
Yeah,
to, to have financial stability, so she taught me from a very young age. And also when my stepfather stepped in as well, when I was like 13, 14, he's a Navy man. So it was like, I want my carpets,
ship
vacuum
shape.
diagonally, and I
Yep.
want my, press my shirts, and I'll give you $1 for each shirt that you press. And so it taught me a lot, just a lot of stability, a lot of necessary things that you need to learn as an adult anyways. You should learn how to clean your house, right? um, those things are instilled in me, and I think that that crosses over from mother to daughter, and again, daughter to my daughter. So
Yeah, and I think generationally, right, it trickles down, and you learn more. And if you drop the ball on that, it can really have devastating effects on your kids, right? Um, but I love that she's looking at the sacrifices that you're making and that you're following your dreams and stuff like that. And I'm really glad for you that you stopped putting yourself last too, right? Because that's not healthy either, right?
yeah, I think it was a long road of just me trying to understand why I had so much overflowing love, generosity, kindness, and where to put it. And I never thought I was worthy of just putting it back into
Yeah.
me.
Hmm.
And now life has definitely changed. People are like, you're working so hard, you got to do your self-care. Like, they're always at me like, you're working too hard, and I'm like,
Hmm.
you have no idea what I do on my downtime. Like, I'm always like getting my nails done, I get my hair done, I go get massages once a week. Like, I do a lot of self-care because I do love myself, and
Good.
I do care about myself, and in order for me to be a good mom, I have to have a healthy state of mind, and I
Yeah.
can't do that if I'm always working, and I know that. So
Good.
although I'm very grateful for my very caring fan base, they just don't know what my life is like outside of the camera. So,
Well, I'm glad for you, and we can always tell ourselves that it's not self care and that you're being selfish, right? That inner voice that beats us up, and I'm glad that you're not listening to that voice. So that's awesome,
right.
good stuff. Let's talk a little bit about your writing. I love your writing, and I love what you're doing with the kind of the 21st century way of releasing music, which is single after single after single. But I'd love to hear about the role of your vocals, because your vocals are what sets you apart from so many other singers, right? And I want to hear you talk about how your vocals help you as a songwriter, because I know that there has to be a strategy there in how you're writing these songs to fit your vocals, right?
Yeah, I would say it's more of a mood than it is vocals. I mean,
Okay.
obviously, when I get into the studio, I have to find the right key. Like, I just got done recording 5 new songs last week, and 2 of the songs were too high for me the way that they were written. So we had to figure out what key would be best, and we just played it live. With session players, they're just like, okay, let's try this key. Okay, let's try this key, and just the whole band is playing, and they switch the key like that. So it was really awesome to be able to find those keys for me. But my writing process is more like, well, I think in my younger writing, it was more like I would get drunk, I would come home from work, and I'd turn on my pellet stove and I'd write in front of my pellet stove. And Medicine Man is one of the songs that I wrote. That happened because I came home drunk and decided to write in front of my pellet stove. Whereas, like, now my writing process is a lot different, where I'll take notes in my phone of a melody that I'm hearing, or a topic, or a line that came to me while I was driving. And then I'll ask one of the session writers that I've been working with, like Jesse Slack or Steve Fee, or just Nashville people that have been sharpening their tools every single day, right?
Yeah.
I don't do it every single day. I do it like maybe once a week or something. And I'll be like, hey, I have this idea. And if they're into it, they'll write with me. And most of the time, I would say 99% of the time, they're in. So my writing process has been a lot different as I've evolved since The Voice and since I've gone solo. And there's and different parts of my life too, whereas before it was always like I never wanted to sing about love. I never wanted to sing about, happy things. It was always very depressing, like
Yeah.
angry, angsty stuff. Now, like last week I recorded 2 love songs. I'm like, who am I?
Let's go. That's good to
Yeah.
hear. You talked
Yeah.
about since The Voice and kind of the evolution process of your writing. The Voice is a cover show, right? Like you're essentially doing cover songs. So I'm curious how you feel your writing has matured, not just since The Voice, but because of The Voice.
Mhm. I think, I mean, we were also very busy and there was 100 of us going into this, but I would say I did write a song with the core group. We wrote a little ditty together, and that was the only song that we really wrote during that whole 6 months. I just didn't have time to do that. But since The Voice, Reba put me together with her publishing team. She put me together with some of her songwriters, and that's what kind of got the ball rolling. I didn't know. I was also, by the way, my producer Jason had me do writing sessions because I've never done it before. I'd always just write my songs and come to the studio and then we would record it. Whereas I had to sit with people that I didn't necessarily agree with their songwriting style, and I had to learn how to adjust to it. And it was a big growing pain for me because I thought being an artist just meant you write your own songs, you do it your way, and you stick to your guns on it. But really, it's about compromise for
Mm-hmm.
the listener.
Yep.
You have to write for the listener. You don't necessarily, I mean, some songs, of course, are really close to my heart. Like Other Side is a very close song to my heart, but I couldn't just be like, this is what he did to me and this is how it happened, like, and
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't go that deep. I had to like make it almost surface level, but enough for you to understand what I'm going through. You had to hear the pain. So as for writing styles, and I'm very long-winded when I explain myself, but I think it's just the mood and it has to be the right key. And I think I take a lot of my inspiration from Stevie Nicks and Adele
Mm-hmm.
and Carrie Underwood. And I love grunge rock. I love classic rock. So when I'm writing these country songs, I have to hear something edgy in
Yeah.
it.
I was gonna
Yeah.
mention that. Yeah, that's who you are. That's who Jacquie Roar is. It's that edginess in the country, right? Like, and it's not just always classic rock or grungy or almost swampy, right? There's some pop elements here and there too, which I really love from you. And I think maybe that's your Carrie Underwood side, and perhaps. But yeah, I love what you do artistically. Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, and you have the vocals for it all too, right? So like that's a good tool to have.
Yeah, I think it was kind of funny because the session players that I was with last week, I think they're so used to people just coming in and maybe they don't necessarily they're maybe they're green and they haven't really had time to be in the studio and they're not completely vocally developed yet. So when I started singing the tracks, they like stopped and they're like, "Oh, we got a singer in here today." And it was
Yeah,
just kind of
yeah,
funny to like get that validation because you know that they're pros. I
yeah,
had like Keith Urban's guitarist in there, like, I was like,
yeah.
that they're pros. So the question is, am I on that level too when I go in there? And to me, I just love the validation of
Yeah, it's got to
having that
feel good.
respect from my peers.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. You talked about compromise earlier, which is something I hear a lot from songwriting rooms. And I feel like the compromise really is, in the way you discussed it, was the balance between commercial and creative, right? Like you have to be relevant and resonate with your audience, but it also has to be something that you truly believe in, right? And that's the creative side of things. But I've also heard so many songwriters say that you have to leave your ego at the door, and that's where your compromise comes in, right? Like you have to go into that songwriting session with open ears and an open heart, really, because the song leads the way. That's something you've had to learn, right, since being in Nashville.
Yeah, I would say so. It was kind of a like I said, a growing pain because I
Yeah.
was kind of stubborn. I was with these songwriters in LA with my producer Jason Mater. He set up this whole thing for me, and we are just trying to write syncs. And I'm like, I really want the words to be this, and they're like, that's not commercial enough. They need to be this. And I'm like, who cares about commercial? It should be about from the heart, you know?
Mhm.
And it was an argument almost. And then I had to learn from, I mean, Seth Rieger is the one who kind of just like sat me down and was like, this is how it is, and this is something that you're going to have to learn. And when the way that he talked to me and explained it to me, it made so much more sense to just, it's not about my ego or my heart or whatever. It's like, if you really want your voice to be heard, you have to do it in the way that a listener is going to accept it. It's like if somebody's pointing their finger at you and
Mhm.
saying blah 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 blah, you don't want to listen to that. You want to listen to somebody who's calmly like, this is what's going on, you
Yeah.
know?
Mhm.
So that's the same thing with music. And now that I have that, I go into a room and I'm like, hey, let's bust out this song. I have an idea. We can literally write songs in 30 minutes because it's so free flowing between us, you know, and that before it was like 3 hours to get a dang
Mhm.
song out of me, you know, so
Yeah, that was just you pushing back, right? Like just you sticking to your guns because you have that attitude, right? Like,
yeah.
yeah, I love
You don't
that.
respect me as an artist, obviously, if
Yep,
you don't think that this is, you know, it's like, no, girl.
yep.
If you're the best writer in the room, you're in the wrong freaking room. Period.
I love that. Great stuff. Yes, I love that so much. I wanted to talk about your choice of coach because I think this is hilarious. If you guys don't know, Jackie chose Gwen when Reba was sitting right there, right? And I mean,
Mhm.
it ended up okay. First of all, it did end up okay, but I just want to know how much impact did your daughter's bow have on your coach choice? Because she chose Gwen. You didn't choose Gwen. It was peer pressure, wasn't it?
It was an ongoing conversation because she knew she was going to come, and I was like, well, if they turn, who do you want to pick? And she just kept saying Gwen Stefani. So I kind of already had an idea but I was thinking she also kind of mentioned John Legend,
Yeah.
but it was never Reba. Reba was never on her list. It was like John Legend or Gwen, and she loved Gwen's music. Rich Girl was playing over and over again in my car to every freaking activity. So, um, I think it helped that Gwen was like, "Oh, I'm wearing a skirt, I'm wearing a bow," and I just let Leilani pick because to me, uh, my path was already written. So if it was meant to be, then it would be. And um, I was correct every step of the way. I knew
Yep.
when I walked into my rehearsal that Gwen was going to pick Bias. I knew that when we were getting on stage to do the battles, that Reba was going to save me, and I knew that that I was going to make it to the finale. I just knew it because I was not going to allow anything else to happen. So
Amazing stuff. Yeah, I love that episode, man. It's so cool. One thing I wanted to I don't want to talk too heavily about The Voice. I know you've probably done a million interviews on The Voice, but when you're up there singing and you're doing a Gretchen Wilson song, who by the way I love as well. I'm sure you're a huge fan as well.
huge.
I grew up on Gretchen. I've seen her like 4 times. I know, big gruffy bearded guy, but man, I've been to so many Gretchen shows. But anyway,
Mm,
that's not the point. The point I'm making here is like you get like 3/4 of the way through the song and not a single chair is turned yet.
yeah.
What's going through your mind?
Well, I'll tell you exactly what went through my mind because I was just rewatching these, by the way, like 2 days ago. Um, and I just get teary-eyed thinking about it. I mean, first of all, they keep you away from your family for about 45 days, so I didn't get to
Wow.
like really be with my family. Then I got to see them for about 10, 20 minutes before I was supposed to do the interview with them. So I'm like, I'm crying, my man's crying, my daughter's crying, we all miss each other. And then like an hour later I'm supposed to go on stage and sing, right? So the doors open up for me to go out, and the first people I see is my daughter and my fiance, and I am like
Oh man.
emotional because I'm scared to death. I'm like, the first thought is, oh my god, she's right there, she's gonna see if I fail, right? Like, I just get emotional thinking about it now because
Wow.
I was really that scared. And So I just like smiled and I dug my boots in and I just walked up on that stage and I'm trying to wave to people and they're like just stone cold facing me and I'm like, dude, that's so rude. Like, give me a smile, you know? So I get on stage, the music starts, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna dig in. I start singing, they're not turning. I was like, okay, crap. I get to the port to the bridge and I'm like, if they don't turn now, they're not going to turn. So I need to give them the most powerful. Like, I don't usually growl that heavy. I
Yeah.
do a little more tapered back, but I was like, I'm going full force, full Jacquie Roar, and I gave it to them. And my eyes were like kind of closed, and then all of a sudden I opened my eyes again, and Reba's turned around, and I'm like, because you don't hear the noise, by the way.
Yeah.
What you hear on TV where they go, psh,
Yeah.
you don't hear that at all. So, like, then I saw all four of them facing me, and I was like, oh my God, and
So what's
I had
that
a
like?
bet.
What's the adrenaline like then? How are you able to finish? Because like you go from this almost depressing state of emotion to just extreme, holy crap. I don't know how
It
you
was
continue.
it was a roller coaster of emotions. But the adrenaline kicked in once they turned around, and I didn't have that doubt in my head anymore. I was like, holy crap, I made it. And I got a four-chair turn. Like, let's finish this bitch off
Yeah,
with a high
yeah,
kick. Like,
yeah,
let's go. Let's give him a show. So I just went in, did my little kick thing that I like to do. And then, of course, my earring falls out. And I'm like, "Ah, dude, I'm not going to freaking sit there and pick up my earring and put it in. Like, that's so lame." So I just like tore the other one out and I threw it on the ground. And I was like, let's go. Yeah.
yeah. Incredible
And
stuff, man. Yeah.
yeah, Reba loved that, and it actually happened again. My earring fell out during another taping of her and I, just Reba and I, and she was like, "Girl, your earrings." I was like, "I know they don't want to stay in."
Good stuff, man. Yeah, I just I watched your entire journey, and those are the kind of the things that stuck out to me and make you unique in your journey on The Voice. I've had a lot of folks on the show from different shows, and would you do it the same way again if you could go back?
I've honestly thought about that. It's so funny that you're asking me that. I've thought about it so many times, and it's like, okay, if I would have gone with Niall, I probably would have had to go up against Huntley or, somebody that was in that rock and roll range like me, or Nene. And if I had to go against Nene or Huntley, I don't know. I don't know if Rebo still would have saved me, because it also depends on the song choice. And Niall had a different song choice. He had a different view of who I was. He wanted me to be like more rock and roll, as he said, like Aerosmith and Lenny Kravitz when he was talking to me. So I think that I've thought about it 7 ways to Sunday. I've thought about Reba's song choices that she gave her battle people. And I think that Gwen, even though Gwen didn't pick me, I think Gwen knew the right song for both Bias and I. Um, and although Bias did have the upper hand because it's a male song and it was in his vocal range, um, I think it was perfect for both of us. And Bias killed it, I killed it, and it was just a great partnership because Bias and I were already friends,
Yeah.
so we weren't competing. We were doing it as a duet.
Yeah, it wasn't like somebody lost, right? I mean, you guys both were
Yeah.
awesome, right? It just so happened that somebody had to go on and somebody didn't, right?
And I bet him too, because he was, having self doubt, as we all do once we're about to go in. And,
Yeah.
you always think that the person that you're singing against is better than you in some way. It's like, I know that Bias can do all kinds of runs. I can't do all kinds of, I mean, I could if I practice, but I don't practice. So I don't. He could do all kinds of runs and flips and all that stuff. And I was like, dude, he's going to kill this because Gwen's like in love with him. And he's thinking, no, Gwen just is tricking my mind. She's picking you. And I'm like, no, dude, I bet you $100 that Gwen's going to pick you and Reba's going to save me. He had to pay me that $100 because he shook my hand. So
Awesome stuff. Before we get into some shorter segments that we're going to use for some TikToks, I wanted to, you mentioned your current single, Other Side, which is just a phenomenal song. And it showcases a side of you that isn't there in a lot of your other singles. A lot of you sing, like, man, first of all, every song is different, right? It's an incredible journey if you go through her catalog. But this song is much more kind of drawn back. It's more ballady. It's more vulnerable. It's tells a story, right? It's going to make you feel. Tell us a little bit about the song and why it is different for you.
All my songs are really positive and uplifting, and this one was, and I kind of feel like my slow songs bomb, and I think it's just because people are tired of being sad. So, I would say there's a niche of people that have been in DV situations, and they don't necessarily have a song that can exemplify hope, for themselves. You go through it and then you feel like you're stuck there, or you feel like you're trapped in that. I know for a very long time I was like, why did I let that happen to me? I'm so stupid. Like, how stupid am I? Um, so this song has a lot of importance because even though it starts out sad, it still ends up
It
positive,
does. Yep.
um, and so I think that this one really differs because it comes from an experience of mine. It's not just like, we rough, we tough, we party. It's not like an anthem, a super anthem of drinking and partying. This is an actual, almost a warrior anthem for those that are stuck or have experienced a domestic violent situation, or, are still experiencing it and they don't know how to get out, or they don't believe that there is any happiness on the other side, that this is your life, and it's not your life. I thought I was trapped. Thank God he made it so, God made it impossible for me to stay. There was no other way that I could have lived if I stayed. So he made it impossible so that my only decision was to leave. And I'm so grateful that he did that for me, because once I made that decision, I mean, look what happened,
Mm-hmm.
I got on the freaking Voice. I'm freaking a recording artist. I'm like, I just got signed to an agency. So I have a booking agency now. Like, I'm writing with Reba's Songwriters. Like,
Yep.
it's like life is crazy. And
Yeah.
I would have never had that if I stayed. He would have prevented me from singing because he was so jealous of the attention that I got when I would sing.
And what you're experiencing now is the other side, right? That's the other side. And how important
Yes.
was it to you to release this song in hopes of reaching other women and helping them get through as well?
This is one of those catch-22 moments where it's like, I want to be a messenger of light and hope and a pillar. Um, but it's also a heavy responsibility to be that person, because then they come to you and they ask you, and either they want to know your story or they want to tell you their story. And sometimes it's in the middle of a meet and greet where I'm ushering people and I'm having a good moment, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, can I talk to you for a minute? And you're like, oh no, this is going to be a serious talk. And
Mm-hmm.
you go from being up here and exciting to like really having to resolve and get on a serious note with somebody. And it's like a roller coaster. So I want women and men go through it too. This is really important because my first song, Past the Pain, was about a male friend of mine
Yes.
who unalived himself because of narcissistic abuse. So I have the man's perspective, I have the woman's perspective, which is more of a general perspective, but abuse is real, and mental abuse is just as, it's actually worse. I think it's worse than physical abuse. Um, so yes, it's important that I put this song out. It just comes with a lot of responsibility that um, isn't always the right time to have the
Yeah.
responsibility, if that
Well,
makes
I mean,
sense.
it's courageous for you to decide to put it out just because you are going to relive that hurt over and over again. I have a friend who was on the show. Her name's Courtney Patton, and she talks about grieving her songs. Like, she literally has to grieve the song. That way she can get through that process in order to, perform them. And and again, that does come with the responsibility of deep conversation at times, right? If you're going to put that stuff out. And so, yeah, I applaud your bravery in doing that and trying to help other people. Past the Pain, again, is the same kind of gist and from a different perspective. I was listening to that song as well. So it's very brave to put those kind of songs out as a recording artist, because they're probably not going to sell quite as much as the hip hop yay, party songs, right? The beer drinking songs, the dance songs. So congrats. Kudos on that.
Thank you.
Let's get into some fun stuff with Jacquie Roar, and then we'll let her get her on her way. Again, thank you so much for your time today. And so these are just like 7 or 8 different real short segments, hopefully. I'm going to let you choose between 2 different subjects, okay, on some of them.
Okay.
So choose either did you know or fun.
Fun.
All right, what are some of your hobbies outside of music?
Okay, my hobbies are I love to shop. I love shopping. I love trash reality TV shows. I love food. I'm a huge foodie. Like I will try anything once as long as it looks good. Like I just tried escargot a couple days ago.
Nice.
And I was like, this ain't bad actually.
Cool. All right, so next one's called impactful. Name 3 people that were very impactful on you, and then tell the number one thing you learned from each of those 3 people.
Oh my God. Okay, my daughter. It would be number 1. She has taught me to love myself and to believe in myself and to continue to be strong so that she can be strong. I would say my father, Tony, I don't give him enough credit. He brought stability to my home and made the dysfunction less dysfunctional, and brought us new habits and just gave me a routine, which is really important to somebody who's developing, or didn't have stability and needs it,
Yeah.
So I would say that. And I would also say Ariba has been very most impactful of my music and my career, because she is so, you look to somebody like her and you think, is she really who she is, who she perceives to be? And she is. She is an angel. She is a mentor. She is a businesswoman. She is an artist, and she knows she remembers where she came from. She's always stayed that way. And she's given me that validation and sense of approval that I would have never listened to anybody else except for her, really, to just pursue music to the utmost full capacity that I have. So
Awesome stuff.
it's because of her that I keep going.
I love that. All right, choose either Mount Rushmore or one artist.
One artist.
All right, who is one artist other than yourself you wish the whole world knew about?
Okay, give me a second. That I wish the whole world knew about. This is tough. Wait, I don't like this question. Okay, right now I'm super obsessed, and it's been about 2 years of my obsession. I'm obsessed with Emily Roberts. I think she is just.
She's
She's
killer.
She's opposite of me, so I think that's why I'm obsessed with her. She's like pretty and pink and blonde, and like has a tiny soprano voice, and mine's just like husky and like I'm Batman.
Yeah.
Like I feel like such an ogre compared to her.
Oh my God, I'm Batman. No, she's amazing. Just an incredible artist, yeah, and she's doing big things too. So I love that. All right, next segment's called "What the Heck." This is 5 rapid fire questions. This is kind of like a game show. So just tell me the first thing that hits your mind, okay? When you hear the question. All right, where do you think squirrels go during hurricanes?
In a tree.
Do you think that's a wise move?
Probably not.
All
Where
right.
else would they go? Like in the ground?
All right, number 2. What world record do you think you have a shot at breaking?
Most oysters eaten.
Wow. Okay. Number 3. If 4 out of 5 people suffer from diarrhea, does that mean one person enjoys it?
It's probably me.
Oh no! You enjoy diarrhea? That's weird.
Hey, you know what? I don't know.
All right. Number 4, do you have a song with a person's name in the title?
I do not. Oh yes, I do. I just recorded it last week.
Oh, nice. What's the name?
It's my daughter's name. It's Leilani's song.
Awesome stuff. Love to hear it. All right, last one, number 5. If you could spend 1 hour with anyone from the past, who would it be and what would you talk about?
Okay, this is weird because I've always had an obsession with Marilyn Monroe, and I want to know, like, I just want to know the nitty gritty. Like, did she die because somebody else killed her or what? You know,
Yeah.
like, I don't know why that sticks out to me, but there's so many conspiracy theories. I just need to know the truth. on
Yeah,
that.
what happened? That's what you'd ask her, right? What happened?
What happened, and like also what tricks maybe did she learn, like, and was she all natural, and like if she was, then how did she keep it? Because I need to know all these things too. Like I'm just I want to be curvy and voluptuous and beautiful too, you know.
Oh man, good stuff. Yeah, that's a great answer. I listened to a lot of stuff about the Monroe stuff. There's some wacky shit that happened there, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, next one. Choose either bucket list or fly on the wall.
Ooh. How about both? Let's do both because I'm crazy.
All right, you want to do both. All right, bucket list. What is on your bucket list of things you still want to do?
I really want to go to Louisiana. It's been on my list because, and especially during that time where they do the, what is it called?
Mardi Gras?
Where they Mardi Gras. I want to go to Mardi Gras in Louisiana. That's what I want to do.
All right, so
And that's just very little of what I want to do. Like I also want to sing at Red Rocks. So
nice. Yeah. February is Mardi Gras, so.
okay, so good to know. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right, so fly on the wall is, can you name a room in history that you wish you were a fly on the wall in?
Oh God. Probably the Oval Office when Nixon got caught.
Ooh. Wow. You might have died then, because he was probably throwing shit everywhere.
But if I'm a fly, you're gonna miss me. So.
Probably, yeah. Can we figure out scientifically why they're able to do that, please? Like, what the heck?
I know.
Anyway.
I know.
All right, next segment. Choose either biggest lesson or moment of gravity.
Oh, biggest lesson.
All right, what is the biggest lesson you've learned directly from music?
That no song is a bad song. Really. I mean, you would think okay, my brother told me this one time. I used to not want to put out any of my music because I never thought my lyrics were good enough. And my brother said to me, Jackie, if Bird's the Word became a popular song, you know that song, Bird,
Yeah,
Bird,
I
Bird,
do.
Bird is the Word?
I sure do.
Then you should have no problem putting out whatever song you want. And it's stuck with me to this day. That's the one thing that I think about every time I'm like, I shouldn't release this. And I'm like, you know what? You won't know until you put it out if people think it's a good song. So
That's so good. Your brother is so smart. Yeah, there was a number 1 hit with only one word in it. Did you know that?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yep. Do you know what song it was?
Tequila.
Very good. Yes, it was
Yes.
Tequila. Good stuff. All right. Next one is called Grateful. What are the 3 things you are most grateful for?
My family, my friends, and my fans.
Awesome stuff. All right. Last segment might be the hardest one for you to answer, though. This is called Who Do You Think You Are? So who is Jacquie Roar?
Jacquie Roar is a somewhat crazy kind of person. I'm crazier when I don't have the kids. I'm a mom. I'm a businesswoman. I am an artist. I am compassionate. I am kind. I am a Christian. But I love all walks of life. I'm not judgmental or discriminatory. And I think love is love. And that's what matters to me. If I can love, everybody should be able to love. And love is most important. Treat everybody with kindness because that's how I live my life.
Kindness is effortless, right?
Exactly. It really honestly is more energy to be a dick.
I say it all the time, all the time. Kindness is effortless. Like it's just so easy to be nice to somebody, right? Like my wife and I, whenever we leave our property, we try to find somebody in town that, you know, just to say something nice to, and whether it's about their hair or their appearance or whatever it is, and it's so gratifying to see somebody smile, and it's so much better than trying to bring somebody down, I feel, and I don't understand the other side of that at all. So
No, you're right. It's funny because every once in a while, there's a couple things that this might be long-winded, but every once in a while, I will buy a bouquet of flowers and I will just walk out with it and I will give it to a lady in the parking lot and
I
just
love
say, "Have a
that.
good day." Sometimes. The other times is like if I'm really feeling like God is calling me to leave a mega tip for somebody, I'll leave them $100 tip and I won't say anything. Just
Yep.
I don't want the recognition. I don't film them for it. It is for them. And ever since I've done that, I go to a pho place near my home, and every time I come in, she is all just smiles. She's like, "Please don't tip me that big ever again." Like she's just so sweet. But my order comes out first. I'll tell you that.
Yep, that's the way it is, man. That's why kindness is paramount. Jackie,
Yeah.
thank you so much for being here. Let me tell folks where they can follow along with you. Just because of the weird spelling of the name, which I love, and the searchability, by the way, is off the charts. Just you type that out correctly, and you're gonna find everything. Like you were so Googleable, is what I'm trying to say. Anyway, Jacquie Roar, you can follow her. The website is JacquieRoar.com. I'm gonna go ahead and spell that out. It's JACQUIEROAR.com, and the social medias are pretty much all at Jacquie Roar, except for Facebook, which has an S at the end of it. It's at Jacquie Roars, which means somebody must have stolen the other one, huh?
It's me. My private page is Jacquie Roar. I didn't
Ah,
realize that it wouldn't transfer over to
you
my business
stole your
page.
own page,
I stole
Jackie.
my own URL.
That's
So
that is so funny. That is incredibly funny. But anyway, if you could tell people the best way to support you, what would you say?
I would say, especially on my Spotify and my TikTok, if you follow me on Spotify, that is the most
Huge.
biggest way that it's huge for me because that's what the labels look at.
Hmm.
And even when I need to work with other artists, if they're trying to level up, they look at all your social numbers and everything like that to see if they want to collab with you or not. So, in order for me to level up, I have to also have my socials level up. So TikTok, I go live Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. If you guys want to hear free concerts, I usually do a cooking and singing thing
Let's go.
around 1 o'clock every day. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Just please, just follow me.
I love it
That's
so
it.
much, Jackie. Thank you so much for being here and making this work for me. And it was just a huge pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you for making my schedule work for me. It's been so crazy and frantic. So just thank you
Hey,
for
this is John Stork. Just want to let you know, thank you for tuning in to the Boston Chris Show.